Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another kind of mini video. This one we're going to be doing, just talking about a mini event. So this is one I briefly talked about in my costume, my top 10 most wanted costumes, because one of the costumes I had there is basically all the Earthland realm costumes, and I left a link. If any of you guys actually looked at that link, you would see that there's loads of costumes. Now, the only reason I really would like to do this is because they've already started with the Shadow Knight. Of course, they gave us the Shadow Knight and bar with the big chair, which we of course got, which was really cool, and one of the best costumes we've ever got. So, but I think that they really should complete the Earthland realms, and I think a mini event would actually really work. They could return all the Clash of Clunes stuff, or the Clash of Crap, sorry, stuff. Wrong name. Clash of Crap stuff. Oh, sorry about the chair. Yeah, they could return all the Clash of Crap stuff, and yeah, that it worked like that, and I think it would be a cool mini event. The only problem with this event is they wouldn't be able to add so many buildings. It would be very costume based, and I personally would like that, but I know a lot of people wouldn't like that. These are the very few costumes I even enjoy. But anyway, let's have a look. So the quest line will be that Marge says that she has been playing. She's been playing Earthland lately, but no one has been online to interact with. So you basically make Marge log on to Earthland Realms. It will take about 30 seconds. Bart says that she ruined the game for him, so it won't be returning anytime soon. But Marge says it was a great bonding experience. And then these two will be our tasks: make Bart play outside for a change, and then make Marge try to convince Bart. And after these 2 hour tasks, you'll actually unlock Cleric, and this is a costume for Marge. Pretty cool. And then there'll actually be a 30-hour task, and called Game Over. And when you complete it, you actually unlock the memorial. And then when you do that task again, it obviously, like, it's her inside the coffin. But yeah, that'll be that'll be like a secret thing, like a secret task to actually unlock an item, which I think would be an awesome little feature, but something I just thought I'd throw in there. But anyway, here's the store. So first of all, we have the bridge with Troll Mo. The bridge will just be a decoration, so I said about 75 donuts. Basically, it's a costume and a decoration you're getting. The Earthland Realm Blocko. This is actually from a different episode, but you may as well just throw it in there. For 25 donuts, basically, there's just this little stand. Market hut for $900, just a little hut. You can buy, multiple of these. The Retreat of Destruction sign. This will just be a sign, and it will be, 7,000, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Straw house bundle for 50 donuts. Just a bunch of these kind of medieval straw houses. Maybe there's like 3 different types. You basically buy, the bundle for 50 donuts, and you just get a load of them. And then you can buy as many as you want of them. Of course, they'd count as houses. And then you have the sign, the dangerous sign, whatever. Just call it Earthland Realm sign, where it says Trail of Death or Path of Doom. And that'll be cash as well. I know that these free items are cash. They often don't do cash items, but I think they could do them because there isn't really that many items in this whole thing, and I think it would be cool if they just gave us these ones just for cash. But anyway, here's the price track. So basically, with the price track, you send all the people who we actually saw playing Earthland Realms. You send them to essentially go play online, and they'll all be on or play. We'll log in to Earthland Realms or whatever, and they'll all be half an hour tasks, and then they'll earn whatever. So whatever the heck the currency will be, I imagine it'll be gems or something like that. But you basically earn gems, and then the first prize is the Shadow Knight Castle. Now this is really interesting because once you have the Shadow Knight Castle, you can basically make costumes with this. So the Shadow Knight Castle will be there will be a building, but it will also actually entail costumes, as in you can now create the costumes for all the different Springfielders. Now, yeah, so instead of obviously making it so all the prizes are costumes, you got to earn for prizes. Basically, once you've unlocked the Shadow Knight Castle, you can. It doesn't matter once the event ends. You can still earn. You can still get all the costumes after, which I think would be really cool. But the second prize is the Arpu Merchant Hut with Vendor Arpu. Obviously, you will have to unlock this to get Vendor Arpu. Then you have the Dead Shadow Knight. It'll just be this, and then there'll be an interesting task with the characters who obviously were dancing around with his guts. You have the cauldron here. This is obviously what Marge uses to cook some stuff in, but yeah, the cauldron anyway. You have the baskets with snake, serpent snake, cobra snake, sorry. Whatever. This will be a costume for Snake. Really, really interesting. And then the final prize will be the Wizard Tour Guide as a playable character. He will have his own set of tasks as well. So yeah. We got one playable character with this entire thing. And I think he would make an okay character. Not an amazing character, but a mediocre character. I don't really understood why they didn't just add in all this stuff with the Clash of Crap. It wouldn't have made it that much better, but at least they would have given us some coolish costumes, whatever. And they could have given us the wizard guy. He would have been okay, I guess, as a character. But anyway, like I was saying, so basically you send characters to create online profiles. So you'll say if you wanted this costume for Dolph, you'd obviously first of all have to have Dolph, and then you'd send him to create an online profile, and then at the same time, once you basically have to do that maybe 3 times, let's say, and each task is like 6 hours or something like that, and then you also have to send Earthland realm characters. Let's say you have to send 5 of them or something like that as well, or something like that, to actually breathe life into him. So you'd have to use, obviously, the Wizard Tour Guide, for example, Vendor Apu with Snake and Marge. You'd send them maybe 10 times then, actually, to make it a bit more difficult. But basically the idea is it would actually take a while to get these costumes, but you can earn them after the event's over. So as long as you've earned this, it doesn't really make much difference. But yeah, you have Cycloid Dolph, you have Troll Jimbo, you have Troll Kearney, you have Turkey Skinner, you have Enchantress Krabappel. So there's some costumes there. You have more skins. Basically, you can have whichever one you want as well. You don't have to start with like Cycloid Dolph, for example. So like, say if you wanted Mantis Burns, you just send Mr. Burns there, and then you send the others. But once you earn one, of course, that will help actually earn the others. And of course there'll just be a donut thing where you can just skip it for donuts, obviously, for the hackers or for the premium players. Yeah, but for Mantis Burns, be an awesome one. Bat Nelson, we have Wench Millhouse, we have Earthland Realms Waylon. I didn't really know what that's called, whatever the heck he is. Pig Clancy, Earthland Realms Dewey. I know there's a name for this, but I forgot the name, so I've just left it like that. Minotaur, Mel, Warrior comic book guy, Priest Flanders, and Patty and Selma Dragon. And this is going to be an interesting costume, the first costume of its type. Basically, this will be quite a hard one to earn, actually. This will be like the hardest because it is going to be a 2-in-1 costume. But basically, what this will be is it will be on Patty, for example. Let's just say it's on Patty. So when you scroll across her costumes, you get to a dragon one, and it will give a little box, and it will say, are you sure you want to select this costume? This will combine Selma with Patty, and then it will say yes or no, skip to next costume, and that will be like a little warning box that pops up every time you do it. I know it would be a bit annoying if you're trying to scroll through their costumes. I don't even know if they have costumes yet, not too sure on that, but whatever. Yeah, basically that's what will happen. I know it will be a bit annoying, but I think that would also be awesome at the same time because it would combine both characters, so you'd earn like extra cash and extra XP. So yeah, these are all the skins. I don't know if this is the best way for... well, actually, no. I think this is the best way for it. I think this would be the best way to actually create this and to actually give all these skins. So it wasn't like so tedious, like these were all the prizes, like the Stonecutters. That was my one problem with the Stonecutters costumes. Like, although I really like them all, and I like how we've got the Stonecutters costumes for everyone, the only problem I found with it is it was very tedious to get the costumes because, of course, they were prizes. But this would actually solve that because it's your freedom to do it. And once you've got this castle, like I said, you've basically already you already have the potential to unlock the costumes. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, I know some of these characters, like Jimbo, for example, are premium, and I think Dewey's premium as well. And so you wouldn't be able to get the costumes unless you had the characters. But I think that's fair enough, really. Anyway, moving on, let's get into some tasks. So we have the Wizard Tour Guide. Welcome noobs for 60 minutes. This will be at the castle. Wave his magic staff for 4 hours. This will be an animation. Wish people would just say yes for 8 hours. Again, this will be at the castle probably. Guide players for 12 hours, again at the castle. And look for whatever the heck that was, is what he mentioned. For 24 hours, him looking around, and he turns around and there's just a rock next to him. And that's what he was looking for. And it'll just be a repeat animation. Anyway, and then we have Cleric for Marge. Buy from Apu's store for 60 minutes. Over at the little market store that Apu had. Look for treasure. Oh no, redecorate castle for 4 hours over the castle. Look for treasure for 6 hours. This will probably be at this sign, or this sign maybe. One of the two. Wander dangerous forests. This will definitely be at this sign. The Wander dangerous forest. Kick Mo's head for 12 hours. This will be her in a warrior outfit, just kicking Mo's head, and it will include Troll Mo. Become a warrior for 24 hours. Her in a warrior outfit, and then game over for 30 hours, of which of course was this original thing where she'll just be sitting in this. And then, yeah, moving on, we have Troll Mo, shop at Arpoo store for 60 minutes. This would be a pretty cool task. Hit himself with club for 4 hours was something we saw him do in the episode where he's just hitting himself with this mace club thing. Serve grog light for 6 hours over at the castle. Celebrate death for 8 hours. This will basically be, this will trigger this task here. Every time you see the celebrate death, that's what the task will be. It'll just be whichever character going, holding the intestines and kind of going around. Anyway, squeeze pixie head for 8 hours. This will be him with Dr. Nick's little pixie head squeezing it. Dr. Nick won't get his own costume because there's not really much point because we only saw his severed head. Hide and fear for 12 hours. This will be one of those little huts that we saw that you could buy. This one here, the marker hut. That will be where they will hide in fear. Maybe they can be different coloured ones. And then sit under bridge for 24 hours, of course, over a bias bridge. And then we have vendor Arpoo, 1 hour shift for 60 minutes, 4 hour shift for 4 hours. Obviously, this will be over his little store. Sharpen weapons for 6 hours will be a store. 8 hour shift, hide in fear, and then stay up all night selling virtual items, all in his store. Unfortunately, he won't get any animated tasks, but whatever. Anyway, Snake, which I think would actually be some really, really interesting ones. Slither around for 60 minutes. Again, this will be animated. Pretend to develop law degree for 4 hours. That's something he said in the episode. That'll probably be at the basket. Rob Arpoo's store for 8 hours over at Arpoo's little store. Hide in fear for 12 hours over one of those cabin things again. And emerge from basket. And then we have Dolph, shop at, of course, the generic 60-minute one. Walk around with sword. Cook, which will be animated. Cook on fire for 8 hours, which will be animated. And it will include... it won't include, unless you, you know what I mean. And die for 24 hours. It'll just be him and his little severed head on the ground, just lying there. And then the same tasks for these guys, the same things apply, basically. The same animated and all that. Anyway, Turkey Skinner. Shop at Arpoo store for 60 minutes. Be cooked for 4 hours. It'll be him, like a cooked turkey. Try to fly for 8 hours. Try to get ladies. This was meant to be... Sorry, no, Try to Fly was meant to be 6 hours. Try to Get Ladies was 8 hours. Hide and Fear for 12 hours. And then Peck Around, which will be animated. Shop at Arpoo store. Obviously, this was Crabapple. Cast Spells for 4 hours at the castle. Celebrate Death. Of course, you know what that is. That little one. That animated thing. Hide and Fear. Pick Up Men for 24 hours. This will be probably at the castle as well. Just pick up men. Then we have Burns. Shop at Arpoo's, of course. Look for article for 4 hours. Because... I think the whole joke was Mr. Burns was looking for a Wall Street Journal article. You don't obviously want to log in. Get lost in virtual world for 8 hours over at the castle probably. Join everyone in hiding in fear. And then walk around dangerous forest for 24 hours over that sign. And then we have Bat Nelson. Shop at Arpoo's. Say haha for 4 hours. Him flying around probably. Fly around looking for victims for 8 hours. Him flying around. Hide in fear for 12 hours. Probably at the hut again. And then get set on fire for 24 hours. Him on fire. Kind of stupid around. And then we have Millhouse. Look for reversal spell for 4 hours over the castle. Buy new clothes for 8 hours, probably at Arpoo's thing. Assist Shadow Knight for 12 hours over at the castle. And then carry around Goblet for 24 hours. Him with his little thing, carrying around the goblet, little plate. And then we have Smithers, shop at Arpoo's, Storm Castle for 4 hours of obviously the castle. Celebrate Death, which will be that one you saw before. Hide in Fear for 12 hours, and Help Boss for 24 hours. This will include the Mantis. Pig, Clancy Pig, whatever. Sell apples for 4 hours. Him with his little apple cart. It will just appear. Eat apples for 8 hours. Him eating his apple. Hide in Fear, of course, and then make sure no one is committing piracy for 24 hours over at the castle. Just a little funny one for the fact he's a police officer. Dewey, shop at Arpoo's, Storm Castle, bring music to the realm for 6 hours, probably at the castle. Hide in Fear, try to earn gems by playing music. All these will be non-animated, unfortunately, but whatever. Then we have Mel. Shop at Arpoo's, Storm Castle, earn gems on a quest, Hide in Fear in the Entertain Realm again. None of these will be animated, unfortunately, but I think the costume itself is really cool. Comic book guy, shop at Arpoo's, try to find clothes that fit, celebrate death, which will be of course that one you saw before, hide in fear, and slay noobs. All again, the slay noobs could be animated him just carrying his sword, I guess. So yeah. Priest Finder, sorry, not Arpoo. Shop at Arpoo's, upload Bible verses to the game for 4 hours. Probably actually over at Finder's house instead. Storm Castle, hide in fear, and then obviously convert realm. This will be non-animated, unfortunately. Then we have the dragon, Patting Selma Dragon. Anyway, shop at Arpoo's for 60 minutes, scare realm for 4 hours, level up joint character, go on a dungeon quest, hide in fear, and breathe fire. The breathe fire will be animated, and the rest won't, unfortunately. So I guess that costume won't be as cool. It would more be the cool look of, and the fact that you can earn extra cash. That would be the coolest thing. But anyway, that's all the costumes and all that for this little event. I hope you enjoyed this little mini event. I think this could really work as a mini event, and I really would enjoy it. They could just call it Earthland Realms. It was obviously in that episode where Ronaldo was in it, and also like Lisa was doing soccer, and Homer was, you know, the coach and all that. So it tied into that episode, and I'm pretty sure they did most of the storyline from that episode anyway. So